Hello everybody, welcome back to the Mania 7K World Cup 2024. We just came off an exhilarating 5-4 match with Australia and Brazil, seed 8 and seed 9, but this time it's going to be another close seed matchup, 7 and 10 between the North American sides, Canada and United States. I'm Raviel and I'm joined by Sparky. Hello.
Hello, how are you doing today, Rav?
Doing great. I mean, this match, hopefully it will deliver like the last one. We're seeing very close qualifier scores between these two teams, especially stage 2, stage 6, all just the difference of one place between these two teams.
Yeah, it's looking to be a quite tough act to follow. I mean, going 5-4 in the previous match, there's a lot to live up to for these two countries, but as you were saying, these two nigh inseparable at times in certain parts during the qualifiers. I imagine it's going to be more of the same as we slug it out in this round of 16 map pool. And it looks like we get the rolls out of the way. I think Mashu going for that 46. See what Canada responds with here.
So to quickly go through the qualifier results, the United States only have one stage that's better. Oh, sorry, two that's better than Canada, and that's stage 6 and stage 8, but by only one placing.
Yeah, so it's really not a lot to go off of in terms of what the United States might find some inroads in this map pool. It looks like Mr. Moo for Canada rolls the 83. So it looks like the protect is going to go Canada's way. They're going to opt to protect LN1. Unsurprising, I think Canada is going to want to stick to this lower half of the map pool. And the United States might try their luck on these rice picks, but it's going to be pretty contentious if the seeding is anything to go off of. And Wave Tapper is actually going to be the protect for the United States here.
I mean, Canada's protect is very obvious. They were 4th placed on the LN coordination qualifier.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like the United States quickly firing out their ban is going to be LN3 here, going to be removed from this pool. So obviously targeting some of Canada's strengths here as we wait for the Canadian ban to come out. It's going to be Rice 1. So a little bit of a equal response, getting rid of one of the more standard quote-unquote rice picks, just straightforward speed streams, not going to be allowed to be played in this matchup. Makes sense, just like for like trades in terms of your opponent's comfortable skill sets, wanting to kind of pinch those pools as much as possible. And Canada going to be first up to pick in this match. Would not be surprised if they started this match off with something like Allen 1, but remains to be seen here.
I would say that hybrids are also a really good option, but they are just going for that protect.
Yeah, this is pretty bog standard. This is a bit of a torturous map if you aren't used to these slow coordination picks, and Canada is probably going to relish the opportunity to kind of put the United States through their paces, really take them out of their comfort zone. Definitely capable of swinging performances on it, but the margin for error on this chart in particular is so small. A singular drop, especially over halfway through the map, is going to be devastating, because getting back up over that 400 combo cap becomes virtually impossible after a certain point. And just as quickly as the pick came out, we are underway on Mr. Mu and Nuno Tabashinobu for Canada, going up against Tasty Dumpling and Mashu for the United States in this first map of this best of 9. First team to 5 points will see themselves through to the winners quarterfinals. Loser will be dropped down to that lower bracket.
Yeah, so this map is all about control, finger dependency, LN release. Very low combo count as well, so getting a miss here will hurt a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Name of the game as well. Concentration, and Mashu finding the first drop relatively early on, not the most devastating point to miss. If you were to find a drop earlier, is definitely better than later, but that is going to give Canada quite a bit of an advantage to work with because of the fact that both their players at the moment should be crossing that 400 combo cap before Mashu can get there. So some free time to kind of extend this lead, especially because of the fact that they're matching each other in that 99.8% range. Tasty doing everything in their power to keep it close at 99.7 for them. But because Mashu's drop, it's going to really exacerbate the score lead at the moment.
Yeah, it's a huge accuracy drop from Mashu as well, still holding 99.4, whereas everyone else holding above 99.6. Canada's team accuracy is just incredible, and Mashu takes another miss. That lead's just going to continue to climb towards Canada.
Yeah, it's just a point of discomfort really exploited to its limits by Canada to start this match off. This is pretty much the primo pick for them to set the tone right to kick this match off, knowing that they basically have this in the bag, especially at this point with a quarter of the map left to go. It's basically done and dusted. 38,000 points, a margin nigh insurmountable, especially because of the fact that this consistency from Nuno Taba and Mr. Mu is pretty much unflappable as we approach this ending.
I think the score difference between Mr. Mu and Nuno Taba is probably like double digits. That's crazy.
Yeah, they are in lockstep with each other, just perfectly in sync.
Look at that!
Watch the last release.
What? How
Did
in sync
tie?
are they?
Oh my goodness, 993, 993.
Oh my god! 18 points? Hello? Are we sure that they're not clones of each other or what?
I don't have words to describe just how sync, how coordinated those two players were just now. The fact that they were within 18 points of each other.
Oh, they've certainly started this match strong. But United States going
absolutely.
for 9 dump, Vice 4.
Yeah, there no more LMs. No. This is a noodle-free zone for the United States from here on out. Not allowed. We are just a rice household here. We are going to play rice whenever we get the chance. And we're going to see Bunsen check in for the United States, unsurprising. And Dale coming in for Canada to back up their respective teammates. It's going to be bit of a tone shift as well. LN1 definitely a bit more peaceful in comparison to the rest of the pool.
Yeah, 9 dump is very techy, a lot of flams and grace notes, very bursty as well.
Yeah, it's definitely more suited for this United States composition. Canada can definitely swing a performance on it as well. Definitely do not count them out. This will not be a walk in the park by any stretch of the imagination. And just as quickly, once again, that pick comes out, the players are ready. They understand the assignment. No need to dawdle. I'm going to get into the second map of this best of 9. See if the United States can answer back or if Canada can pick up the first break point in this match.
So accuracy is extremely key here, as you mentioned, the flams and grace notes already coming out in this intro.
Yeah, just starting to chip away at the players slowly but surely. We see a top half versus bottom half battle. Mr. Mu taking on Bunsen. Dale trying to keep Mashu in check. And right now it is way too close to call between these two countries. As we continue on through this introduction, it is hundreds of points flickering back and forth between the two. And Bunsen finds his drop going into the second quarter. That's going to give Canada a bit of an advantage to work with, but it's not the biggest cushion. The accuracy is still there for Bunsen, highest in the lobby. Just a tiny blip, but it is enough to give the Canadians something to latch onto. Can they hang on as we continue on into the second third of the chart?
Yeah, the United States had the lead for probably less than a second, and then it swung back to Canada with full force. But United States are still definitely in this. Mashu is very close to Dale, and Bunsen is out acking Mr. Mu. So that 5,000 point difference is just that one miss.
Yeah, but now you start to wonder the person that the miss falls upon. If it were the other way around, if Masha were the one to find the drop, then Bunsen can start going to work here, trying to chip away at this lead. But because of the fact that they're keeping that miss in tow, and the fact that Mr. Mu is able to keep pace with them, it is mitigating the little bits of chip that the United States is taking away from this Canadian lead at the moment. It is still staying strong, 4,500 points, flickering back and forth. Still, as we make our way into the last third of the chart, everything's staying steady. I think really only Bunsen is the person climbing right now, but even they are not immune to the accuracy drops as well as we continue on into this last quarter.
Yeah, everybody is tanking accuracy one way or another.
Yeah, it's just hundreds of percent between all these players.
Oh no, Bunsen! A second miss, that could be it. If Canada just hold on like this.
Yeah, things stay as they are. Canada doubling their advantage, almost tripling their advantage off the back of that second miss. The fact that things start to calm down a little bit, the notes don't come down with enough frequency to get Bunsen back up with that 400 combo cap with enough time. But there is Mr. with the drop. There's still a little bit of combo left, but there might not be enough time. 7,700 points is dwindling, but I think the Canadians have done enough. And sure enough, Canada secures the first break point in this match to make it 2-0 off the back of those two unfortunate misses from Bunsen there on what was otherwise a very, very good run.
Yeah, they would have easily matched Mr. Mu's score and possibly take the point. But alas, it is going to be back-to-back points for Canada, and it will be back to their pick as well.
Yeah, sure enough, wasting zero time. Do want to mention kudos to Dale. That is an incredible score there. MVPing that lobby and a PB as well. Love to see it in match time situations. But I'm going to go back down to those LNs. It is going to be Boodle coming through here.
Mashu's not liking this.
It's LNs.
I mean, the good thing is that's the last LN map that they can pick.
That is very true. The suffering won't be that prolonged, and thankfully just short of 2 minutes. It'll be a quick in, quick out, and who knows if they can put a run together. I mean, this United States roster definitely more than capable of swinging LN performances. It's just when you're going up against Canada, who is very proficient at LNs, it becomes a bit of a hill to climb.
Yeah, this is very different from LN1, where we saw LN1 being more of a coordination control. This is more density.
Yeah, this is going to fly off the rails pretty quickly and continue to fly off those rails for the entire duration of these 2 minutes. Should be a little bit more comfortable than LN1, but still very difficult to get through. There's still a lot of coordination you need to work your way through to make it through unscathed. I think whoever keeps the misses to an all-time low will see themselves coming out on top here.
It does seem like these short LN releases are tripping up Mashu a little bit, as is Bunsen, so Canada do have that small lead just from Mr. Mu's accuracy.
Yeah, 99.83, that is absurd at the moment. Nunataba not too far behind, 99.7 for them. Going to take a little bit of chip damage on some of these releases, but still keeping themselves ahead of Mashu at the moment, their next closest rival. And really, as I say that, Unotaba finds the first break here, not answered back by the United States just yet, as we make our way into the back half of the chart now. And now it becomes most important. You can't allow your accuracy to slip any further, because Mr. Mu is still holding strong at the moment for the Canadians, keeping it on their side for now as Nunotaba recovers from their drop. Now back up with their 400 combo cap and able to fully contribute to this lead that they have built up. But it is so fragile at the moment going into the last third.
That miss from Nunotaba was really clean. The United States couldn't do anything. And that's a miss from Bunsen, so the lead's just gonna go.
Yeah, they had to keep it together as a duo if they wanted to try and take this point back from the Canadians. But with that drop from Bunsen, able to be recovered from very quickly, but unfortunately finding another drop. Nunotaba answers this one back though. but it's not going to do too much to shrink this lead, able to keep it above 5 digits. And as this chart begins to reach its ending, it looks like Canada has done just enough at the end of the day to stave off this American advance and make it 3-0, successfully capitalizing on that break point.
Oh my gosh, Mr. Moo's accuracy
Mm-mm.
miles above everyone else.
Absurd. Everybody else, that's a, dare I say, average performance for everybody at this level. But I mean, when you're that good at LN, I mean, you just gotta take that victory lap around everybody else. And the United States wasting 0 time once again, going for wave tapper here. Rice 3 going to be the pick for them. Their protect coming out at probably the last opportunity for them to do it safely.
Yeah, this is the Clock Jack map. So if the United States want to at least try and keep level ground with Canada, this is it.
Yeah, this is basically the last bastion for the United States in terms of picks that they can really, really show off what they're made of on. But this pick can go so wrong so quickly because of the fact that literally everybody in this tournament is able to put up absurd scores on Core Jack style picks. We've already seen this weekend 999,000 point scores, double digit 300 counts. This is probably going to be more of the same.
Well, let the ratio battle begin.
Ratio battle indeed. Misses not allowed on this pick. We just kind of gently ease our way into what is going to become a bit of a cluster of notes raining down for everybody involved. And I think the mark to hit is going to be that 99.9 that you see across the board here. Dale holding on to that 100%, that little bit longer than everybody else, but proving that they are human at the end of the day as we make our way into the second quarter, and we're going to see flickering across the leaderboard. It is 44 points.
44! I mean, if it ends 44, I would be like, I would just be screaming.
I mean, Rav, we've seen it. We lived through the 4-key World Cup last year,
Yes,
where we had a 1-point difference. There are 2 less people involved in trying to get that to happen. The only thing that would be able to surpass that is if we saw a tie. And right now, with the accuracies across the board, 99.99 for Bunsen and Dale, and Mr. Moo and Mashu going at it above this 99.95. What are these ratios? What are these players doing? We are halfway through the chart. How are you hanging on to this low of a 300 count?
The United States did have that 400-point lead. Mostly because of Mr. Moo's accuracy being the lowest. Yeah, when the lowest accuracy of the lobby is 99.95.
Somebody is going to be severely disappointed in about 45 seconds. I dare not try and call who will be on the losing end of this map because of the fact that it is still too close to call. It is within a 100% across 4 different people at the moment. Mr. Moo actually finds a significant accuracy drop in the context of this map. 99.91 not answered back. Both United States players, Mashu and Bunsen, doing everything in their power to keep themselves in lockstep with each other. Dale, the next closest competitor. Is there enough time for Canada to claw back some of this accuracy? The fact that 99.92% is going to be the difference maker at the end of the day, potentially, is insane. The bursts start to come out. Everybody is reading through it as if though it were nothing. There is a sliver of chart left to go here. It is 1,000 points in favor of the United States. Still drop at the end of the chart, and the United States hangs on with less than 3,000 points away from making a perfect 2 million. What are these ratios, Rav?
When the worst ratio is 72. You're the worst player in the lobby with 72 300s. How?
I no. This category of race chart never fails to deliver heart in mouth moments. There is just something about Korjak picks in Mania World Cups that makes my blood pressure spike to absurd levels. These players cannot keep getting away with this.
This is gonna be very interesting from Canada now because no LN picks left, all hybrids still open.
I could potentially see Hybrid 3 or Hybrid 2 coming out for Canada. They have less questions to answer than the United States because of the fact that the United States has to find a breakpoint somewhere during this match to restore parity. But the question is, what do you go for here if you are Canada? Because the last thing you want to do is give your opponent breakpoint on a silver platter.
Ooh, Hybrid 1 is going to be their answer.
Very nice, I can get behind it. I mean, to be fair, there are no more LN picks, so they basically had to go for something here. It might just be the lesser of all three evils. And
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised to see a substitution here from anybody, but honestly, 4 players we see on screen definitely capable of swinging performances on this.
Yeah, this is the tamest hybrid out of the 3, so I think Canada are just trying to maybe test the waters here a little.
Yeah, for sure. Just a little bit of a trepidatious approach. Don't go for the risky pick in like Hybrid 3. Go for something comfortable. You know you have a bit of an accuracy advantage if there's LNs involved. And as it stands, we get into this 5th map of this best of 9. Mr. Moon, Dale sticking it through. Bunsen and Mashu looking to try and claw it back for the United States to give themselves an opportunity to restore parity. Let's see how they do.
And we're starting where we left off. These accuracies are so close to each other. But I think the United States do have that very slight advantage from Bunsen.
Ever so slightly, but Mr. Moon's trying to cancel it out. Mashu finds the drop just after that 400 combo cap. That's going to do a little bit more damage in comparison to if they found that drop earlier. And Canada's going to nurse about a 4,000 point lead going into this next quarter of chart.
Dale though, Dale actually tanks so much accuracy, they're lower than Machu, but Bunsen will miss. No FCs from the United States, 2 FCs from Canada, and that lead is, actually 1 FC left. Dale will miss.
Dale with the miss. Mashu starting to climb back up to try and contest against Mr. Moo. The lead stays relatively intact for Canada despite that drop. Dale needs to get back up with that 400 combo cap. It's going to be pretty easy as they get back over it successfully. But now the lead shrinks to about 3,000 points. The United States starting to tug a little bit more at that lead, trying to do something about this as we approach this back half now.
It is all on Mr. Moo for Canada.
Most pressure on their shoulders at the moment. 99.8, they are answering the call as it stands. But Mashu and Bunsen as a duo are starting to climb up in terms of accuracy. The higher they go, every 10th that they climb chips away more and more at this Canadian lead. There's still a quarter of the chart left to go. A miss this late on would be absolutely devastating for either of these rosters' chances of securing this point. But as it stands, everybody's keeping it relatively clean. But Mashu on the transition finds the drop, and Canada might have been given a lifeline to continue to extend this lead.
Yeah, that could be once again another nail in the coffin for United States' chances of trying to take another point.
It was a valiant effort. Last couple of notes rain down, and at the end of the day, Canada keeps it together just long enough to make it a match point situation. It is now 4-1 with the United States all to do now.
I think even without the miss from Mashu, it would have still been a Canada point. So United States, what is next? There are 2 vice maps left.
Oh boy, do you go for Court Stream or do you go for Something a little bit more off the wall, a little bit more mixed.
Surely court stream, I think, maybe. Because the United States do have a better court stream score in the qualifiers than Canada, but like we mentioned, just one placing only, so it can be risky. But at this point, you have to take the risk. Canada are match point. If you lose this, it's Canada's win. You might as well just give something a shot.
Yeah, fortune favors the bold at the end of the day. The United States taking a second to deliberate. I think that's as long as they've taken for a pick so far this match, which is saying something. They've kind of both been blitzing through this match so far. But I mean, this is the most important pick. Winners bracket, life on the line. It is going to be Rice 2 coming out here. Memory at Angel's Landing is going to be the pick for the United States. So court stream coming out. It's gonna be another ratio battle.
If there's any chance for the United States to get a second point, it's this one left.
Yeah, this is the most straightforward Rice pick left in the pool. But the thing is that it like, similar to Wave Tapper in the fact that it's Chord Jack, Chord Stream is something that all players involved in this tournament, especially at this speed, can still swing some pretty nutty scores on. So Canada isn't going to make this easy. It's going to come down to either who blinks first and finds that first miss, or who slips up and finds a singular bad judgment is the bar. I'm calling it now for these two rosters.
Yeah, they will have to focus on the double stair usages, the bracketing in this map. It does seem like I think Canada have the lead, and they will because of Bunson's miss.
Yeah, pretty early on, so not going to do as much damage, but we've seen it before. Canada, once you give them an inch, they begin to take a mile if left unchecked. Even if they do find trades back in return, it's usually so clean. It doesn't make a difference in the score lead that they build up. It's already 7,000 points going into the second quarter of the chart now.
Right now, Canada keeping it steady. Dale is dropping a little bit of accuracy, but the United States, they will have to climb faster and faster. The map's already halfway through.
Yeah, but there's still time. There's a full minute left for the players to play through. It's really just off the back of that miss, and the fact that, once again, we've been saying it most of this match on Mr. Moo, a full 0.1% ahead of everybody else in this lobby. Just lights out levels of performance at the moment with a third of the chart left to go. It's accounting for a bulk, if not the entirety, of the 6,000 point lead as we continue on here.
Yeah, Mr. Moo has just been the difference maker throughout this entire match, really.
Yeah, and then having the support from somebody like Dale is pretty good to have in the back pocket as well, should they find any slip-ups. But so far, just as pristine as you'd like, as the United States tries to find an answer, but with a quarter of the chart left to go, the window of opportunity is quickly closing. There's still an opportunity for them to capitalize on. If either of these Canadians were to find a tiny slip-up, there's still enough density for them to try and wrestle this lead back. But with the chart coming to an end, Bunsen finds the miss. That is going to be it. That is going to do it. Canada is going to secure the victory and their place in the winners quarterfinals by a score of 5-1. And dear Lord, Mr. Moo, a V1SS to close it out. Triple digit 300 count V1SS, just putting the cherry on top of what has been a immaculate performance for Canada. Congratulations to them. That is about as good as you can get for a team performance.
Yeah, and they will move on to the winners bracket quarterfinals, where they will face either China or Germany. And as for the United States, they will be facing Sweden. That is confirmed for next week.
That's going to be a pretty exciting matchup as well. So once again, congratulations to Team Canada for finding the victory here. And Rav, that'll do it for us for the moment. I believe our next match is going to be at 11 UTC It's going to be South Korea taking on Taiwan in about 9 hours. So plenty of time for everybody to kind of decompress, get ready to take on the last couple of matches for this round of 16 weekend. But it's not over for us just yet. There's one more thing I'd like to mention before we close this particular block out. Did you know you can support any of the 24 teams that are in this Mania World Cup? Rav, can you tell us what the folks watching at home can do to support their favorite teams in this year's World Cup?
Yeah, you said that we have plenty of time for the next match. Well, you also have plenty of time to get a banner of any of the 24 countries, and you can purchase them for a very cheap price, and they will be on your profile to show to everyone in the world.
Absolutely, and that low price is only $2.50 USD. And did you know that if you're indecisive, like me, and can't pick a team to support, you could just buy every single banner and have them on your profile. And if you choose the winning team for this year's World Cup, it'll stick around that little bit longer to show that you were the one that believed in them, and you'll be rewarded for it. So why not pick up a banner today? The contributions go towards the prize pool and making this tournament experience so much better for everybody involved, and making the viewing experience so much nicer for everybody watching along at home. But I think that'll do it for us here. Rav, you got anything else left to add?
Nope, I think we're good here.
Well, with that being said, go ahead and take a break. We'll be back at 11 UTC. Until then, take care, y'all.
Take care.